most people have a basic, continuous feeling of things not being comfortable or not good enough. Where does that come from?
It comes from separation, contracted feeling. I am this body, while out there, already separated. So you feel like this is not enough. Straight away, as soon as you identify with your body, separation happens, self-identification. Then you feel already something missing, something enough, not
But
enough.
isn't it normal to identify with the body?
Yeah, this is for everybody. As a human, when we are born, and until when we start learning language, people are parents or mom, you're this body, you're the Naho, and they started learning that, oh, I am this body. But when you're born, there's no idea, no consciousness even.
Yeah.
No idea, no awareness. It's just being. That's only human has that self-consciousness. Just all animals, all nature, all the things, everything is just being.
So
Baby
the tree is
doesn't
just
know
happening,
anything.
but we as human beings think that there's someone inside us that is happening.
Yeah, but actually that's not really happening. Only happening to the apparent human. But human also, it's not really. When me crumbles, me falls away, sees that's not really happening either.
Can you explain that more?
You just don't see it. You just see just as this. It's just being. Everything seems to be happening by itself, and also nothing becomes. Only I can say is what is happening is all there is.
Yeah.
And the mind said, I am doing this, or I should have done that, has no power at all. At all. Everything's happening.
When thoughts come up, like, I should have done that, or what if in the future this might happen,
because
these thoughts create a lot of struggle, don't they?
Yeah, because they believe in the other person. Otherwise, that thought doesn't come out. But or maybe even come out, but that's another functioning. You don't see it as you.
But when people come to you and say, oh, I'm suffering so much, I've got all this fear and frustration, help me, Naho. What would you say?
I just can say this is only appearance. There is nothing here, just sounds coming out, this image coming out. So I am, not I am, but then I say I am this part of the appearance, no power at all. Whole appearance has no control at all, just appearing as a tree, as a things, as a chair, same thing. It just seems to be as a human body, but same source, everything same energy.
Yeah.
So how appearance can help appearance? That's so
well,
funny.
Isn't it so that when your energy, but someone else is also energy, that when energies come together, then some clarity may happen?
May happen, may not happen. That's what only when it happens. That's only we know.
Yeah, but it's not in your hands.
Of course not. And also, it's keep changing because there is only one moment, this moment, and it keeps changing, and there is no outside of this.
No.
So how can we know next moment?
No,
there
we
is
don't.
only this.
But it's funny, people always look for something special, but like that's it. Especially in a satsang, when, let's say, the teacher is talking, they say, oh yeah, these words, it's it. And then poof, it's gone. And then there's silence, and people are like, the silence, that is it.
Yeah.
And then someone starts to cry, and they're, oh yeah, that is it. I mean, aren't we continuously looking in the future for something that's already here?
Actually, only one. I say use the problem. This is not really problem because everything's appearance, and that, as I explained, that suffering is not really happening. Person is not really happening. I don't see it that way.
Yeah.
But But then apparently people say that the only one problem is they are believing that the functioning is believing they are the person.
Yeah.
They have control. They are the separate person. That's the only problem. As long as the functioning is happening, seeking happening, never gonna get there, because always that from the problem, seeking happening.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
There's always the idea that there is something wrong with this, and people often struggle with they question themselves: am I good enough?
Mm-hmm.
And they try anything to prove it.
I don't see as a person just the functioning is happening, seeking is happening.
Yeah.
That seeking, that me only can do seeking. Because me is uncomfortable all the time. Every moment, every second is uncomfortable. If it's comfortable, it just is. When it falls away, just this. But then the me has to move to next moment. That's only me do, because me functioning is just a sick.
Yeah.
Because it's not whole. It's not complete.
And then people come to talks, which couldn't be horrible, because there's nothing you can get in return.
Yeah.
All is just the losing of ideas and concepts. Then people say, okay, then there is no me. But then they begin to question, then what am I if this is not me?
Yeah.
And when they ask you this question,
That also doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Because there is no me. That's idea. Some speakers say you are the this.
Yeah.
I don't see that way, because I don't see that way, because there is no separation. That means maybe that's the different way of the explanation. But how I see is that me or not me is still some ideas.
Yeah. Yeah.
What I see is that just this, because there is only everything, nothing. So me is kind of concept in a small concept or small ideas, but I use the me also.
Yeah, well, we need words in order to describe something. I mean, because you also say like everything is the same energy. It's not separate.
Yeah.
But then people can say, so I am energy. We always try to find something to hold on to.
But then who I am is, there is no answer, because we impossible to know about this.
Yeah.
Because everything is only assumption. So knowing is me conditioning is one of the me conditioning is that me like to know something.
Yeah.
Me likes to hold on to, but another thing, me likes to know everything. But it's impossible to know. Me is only part, it's just appearance. Appearance can't know anything.
So, in a way, it's impossible to talk about this.
Yeah, impossible to talk about it. But then, it's just what I'm pointing out is that how I see, not I see, but there is just what is happening.
Yeah.
Nobody sees it. That's the point. Nobody sees it.
Yeah.
But everything's happening, and then people use the word love. That's only a sensation.
Yeah.
And that's not what usually people looking for. That's only feeling just passing by, just experiences.
But some teachers say this oneness that we are is love. Of course, it's just a pointer. But how do you think about that? And they don't mean the personal love, but the unconditional, everlasting, all there is love.
Yeah. For here, everything is love. The sensation is love. What is happening is everything's love. Screaming love. Because there is no separation, and it's so intimate. Because there is only love. No person. When it almost like when you identify with your body, you're like me can't see this. As long as me is here, me can't see this because everything is not you. Everything is not you.
Yeah.
Everything's love. This is impossible to talk about, but so intimate. Well, maybe that's an interview before I already said that, but I always wanted to hang on to mom, but it wasn't enough.
Yeah.
It's still separated. But this is more intimate than and just anything else.
So we're looking for love by buying the new car, having the perfect relationships, using cocaine and all. But actually, it's already there.
Yes,
it is.
All the time. How can you can't get out the love. You can't be away from love. It impossible. But that's why maybe people say you are the this, you are me, or everything like that. But I don't see it. It just you. That words you sounds like a person.
Yeah.
And then if you say that, then people started to identify with that, and everything's in me. But I think that become another idea come up. Everything's me, and me person think this is me.
Yeah. But it could also be confusing saying everything is love. Then poof, there is hate. I mean, it's always every word we speak is nonsense because it's duality.
Yeah, I know. But then when I use the word love, which is totally different from the sensation love or feeling, or it's just
it's not the conditional love, you mean?
Yeah, maybe
it's not when you please me and if you make me happy I will love you.
No, because you can't be away from this. You can't be away from this, and always here. It just always here. It's amazing. We are always in love, inside of love, but as long as me is there, you can't see it.
If people who do not know anything about this would ask you, but then what do you talk about? What would you say?
If someone doesn't know about this anything, I don't talk about this.
You don't talk?
No, doesn't come out. I used to try, but reaction is always kind of like a anger.
Yeah.
Anger come out, and then they just straight away I can see they don't want to hear this.
So why do you think people find this message so scary?
Scary. First of all, it just have no idea that it's shocking that nobody. Straight away I said nobody's here. What is she saying? They think I'm stupid or crazy or something like that. So I don't know if why they don't want to hear this. Maybe scared of out of control, or without them, or I have no idea.
No.
Because when I heard this first time, I was so excited.
Yeah, when was that?
That was 2005. I went to Boston to study macrobiotic.
Yeah.
And I met the guy just had an awakening, and he's just talking. And just the first time I heard something like a spiritual, I didn't know anything about spirituality. And wow, what he's talking about, I just fascinated.
And what was he pointing at that time?
At the time, one explanation I really remember is that he was a truck driver.
Yeah.
And he said, I suddenly realized that without thought, I was perfectly drove for 10 hours.
Yeah,
that's what he said.
Yeah.
And another thing is that, and I realized that point he started and where he arrived was the same place.
Yeah.
And then it simultaneously arrived. That's what he suddenly realized. And he started to talk about there is no time. And he said everything's happening perfect moment, perfectly. And he said the phantom self.
Okay.
We are the phantom self. And I think he wrote the book Phantom Self or something like that. He's American.
Oh, nice.
But he suddenly disappeared. We had a connection with email and Facebook, but he disappeared from everything. I don't know.
Okay. And then when you first heard this message, you were enthusiastic about it.
Yes.
And then what happened?
And because I was in Japan, after 1 week, so I didn't study macrobiotic. I was talking to him whole week in a conference, like a garden like this.
Yeah.
And after that, I went back to Japan, and for 6 months, I was speaking to him on the Skype.
Okay.
And he recommended Eckhart Tolle's book, and I started to read. And then someone else, I have a friend, she's been spirituality for 30 years, and then she recommended Tony Person.
Okay.
And we used the two of us for maybe 2 years. Every Sunday we had two of us just a meeting, talk about what Tony said, what someone said. Just talked about it, because no information in Japan about non-duality that time, maybe 2005, 2006.
Okay.
And then after that, I flew to UK to see Tony several times. That was 2006, 2007. And then I start continuously going to meetings.
Okay. And did something change in your conditioning or behavior?
Well, no. Then in that time, I really didn't understand that what Tony was saying.
Yeah.
And only short time, then not like now, you can get all information on YouTube or so many books and so many information. But that time, I just went to see him and then come back, and I sometimes forget and going back to just non-duality
yeah.
going to work and forget everything, maybe forgot about, and I started to yoga as well, so I just go into yoga that time. And then when I moved to France last 5 years ago, my friend, I almost didn't think about anything about non-duality that time, but my friend told me that the guy who called Rupert Spiders coming to Paris, so you should go. She asked me. That was one day before the talks.
Okay.
I just went because I was just very close. Then studied again.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And when you give, increase the talk yourself, what are you pointing at?
What I'm pointing at is this: what is happening, and when me is here, me is there. Since I was child, baby, I remember that I was surrounded by my parents, many friends and relatives, and so much love. And I was so protected, but always felt the loneliness or something missing. And then that's become teenager, started to something missing. It was always there in whole my life. I can tell now. That time I didn't recognize it, but something was missing. I didn't realize what was it. And then I thought Japanese culture is wrong, so I started to travel many places. And because I thought that this country didn't suit me. That's why. So I have to seek for somewhere to move. So I started to move around the different countries. But then I got tired of everything. I tried everything. That time I wasn't really, I didn't know about spirituality. So I was looking for somewhere, try to change the condition, the place, like where I live, or try to improve the condition of the life. But then realize that that's never gonna happen. I felt like I was so tired of trying. Next moment. What I'm pointing at is that as long as you identify with your body, person, as soon as you think you're the body and I am here, and the world outside, separation happens, and that means already contraction happening. That's already uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So as long as you have that, then you always seek So, but then person can only seek the inner time and space. So you have to seek for future, next moment, to do something or to get something, but never gonna find it because already still you're me here.
Yeah.
That's the problem. And it's not the problem, but that's the cause of the seek. So what I'm pointing out is that I somehow realized that everything's happening by itself and there is no control. No control at all means just only little tiny part of little thought. But then after that become like energetic, because since we are child, we are told we are the body. But then after me is gone, so obvious that everything's happening already.
Yeah.
It's so obvious and it's so simple. And what I'm pointing at is everything happening by itself. Me is not. It's happening, but not really happening. And me is not at all necessary what everything's happening. Without me, everything's happening. So, how can I say?
But then, when people say, "Okay, then there's no me," but then who are you?
That question also doesn't make sense. There, that question doesn't make sense because already who are you means that you already some idea that someone's here.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody, no thing, no entity. Everything is there's everything and there's nothing. That means there is no second to look at this what is happening. There is only what is happening. What is.
Yeah, it's so simple.
So, yeah, I know. This is so simple. But that means nobody can see this. Nobody can see this. Nobody can know this. Nobody watch. Nobody can aware. Nobody knows this. It's impossible because everything's happening by itself.
Yeah.
So impossible to talk about this. But this is when you realize this. It's just obvious. It's so simple.
It's so simple.
Yeah.
And still talking about it happens.
I know.
Even though it's silly.
I know.
Even though doing 100 interviews. So the words you speak are not it.
No, not at all. Some people ask me because the way I look or I don't know, just the way I say. If I look like a guru, then maybe people more like more have more conviction what I say. But actually that's this simpleness, because I wasn't really intellectual, so didn't read so many books, so wasn't really seeking in like following someone too much, or I didn't read Nisargadatta, or I don't know, just I didn't have anything like that. I knew Tony Parsons.
Yeah.
So, and
but people maybe when they see a real guru with the beard and the right costume and the high chair, they might think there's something to get.
Yeah.
And for you, and also I'm just a blonde guy, you're just a cute Japanese girl. I mean, it's not really guru-like, is it?
But this is about, again, nothing to do with this. Nothing to do with anything. Because everything and nothing. That means, how come that on appearance of everything, one appearance can say anything? Only appearance.
Yeah.
All guru's appearance, they're empty.
Yeah. Everything is empty.
Everything's empty.
Yeah.
And how come the appearance can give the advice? People are asking me sometimes, what do you think, what is your advice? How can I give the advice? I mean, like, this is happening by itself. I don't know anything.
But people who suffer a lot, you also said you were searching around the whole globe trying to find the answers.
But then I have to say, this is all story.
It is all story, yeah. Everything we say is story anyway. But people who suffer come to these talks.
Yeah.
and maybe they try to get something.
Yeah.
But are they gonna get something?
No. No, but then another thing is that this is funny. I really don't see someone's suffering. I don't see it. People say there's a suffering. I can't. I mean, I can't.
What is
say
suffering? You think?
Suffering is the contracted feeling, identification with yourself, because then contracted.
Mm-hmm.
Then because me is already that's in contracted feeling, separation feels very uncomfortable. Because maybe most of the people don't realize this, but since I was baby, this is my mom told me, I was such a nervous baby. I was like almost like a scared, just a baby. But you can see that the little baby is so frightening.
Yeah.
Since I was born like that, so I was really sensitive. So sensitive to maybe that's why I kind of knew that this separation was already suffering.
Yeah. So when you realized that there was no one inside Naho.
That's funny.
Yeah. This loneliness you felt before, or this emptiness, did that change?
You're gone. It's gone. Because this is like just a pointing up, because this is impossible to talk about. But this is how I explain, just a pointing up. But whenever you are, always this. But the way I say is you are, but without you.
Yeah.
So always this, without you. So you don't need to go anywhere. It's just this, without you, and no separation. And it's just that from the moment, everything is love. The sensation, everything, whole world is love. Then, but still life continues. But there's no.
So you're saying maybe like this is love happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. Life or love happening. Life is love.
Yeah.
And in the a-dvaita it says this is not two.
Mm-hmm.
There are several teachers who use words for this oneness. Mm-hmm. Have you got a specific word you often use?
I prefer everything and nothing, because oneness sounds like a for here it's like a round one.
yeah.
It's like a limited, but this is endless. It's impossible to know, no limitation. So prefer everything and nothing, and simultaneously everything and nothing. Yeah. This is again impossible to understand,
because we always think that we are something.
Yeah. So as long as this is a game that's an energetic thing. This eventually that the position also falls away. But then as long as you're here, then you're just looking out, and always positioned here like a limited with your body. Then you feel like you are moving around everywhere. You have to go somewhere. Then look out. Then always you prefer somewhere else. you
something better.
Something better, because me only can see through the veil of me. But actually that it's not you, but everything is life. Without you, then it's everything's love, almost like in love, almost like surrounded by love. This is words, so it doesn't really make sense, and also it's not really correct, but it's totally we're in love.
Yeah. So there's no one looking through your eyes.
No.
But then Could you say what is looking through these eyes?
Nobody, and also nobody, nothing's looking up through eyes is already concept assumption. I don't know, but just even I don't know if it's looking. Even I don't say that. It's just this, just what is happening. Even no looking. Looking also seems to be like someone's looking, being looked. Even that also disappear.
Yeah.
I can only say this.
This. Yeah, because everything that we put on top of this is another concept.
Yeah, even that.
Yeah, even this is the concept itself, but therefore it's
Even
impossible
that.
to describe
Impossible
this.
to describe. Oh, really, this is impossible to describe because everything, nothing can be away from this to look at. It's just everything and nothing.
Yeah.
Very, very simple. But we try to understand through the concept and through the intellectual. It's impossible.
Yeah.
And then nothing to do with it.
Yeah. So, is there a world?
World?
Is there a world that we live in?
I just that people say that the world, because again, maybe world means like it depends on someone's interpretation. To me, world is like I was Japanese, so world outside like a different country or something.
Ah, okay.
And also in English and Japanese. So like interpretation, there is no world. There is just this. Always, always this. Because there is no time and space, and you are not there. Just this. Even, how can I say you're not there? You mean like as individual person is not there.
No.
So I only can say everything and nothing.
So many concepts then change, like death, reincarnation, karma.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because I practiced yoga before that.
Yeah.
So that reincarnation, karma is really strong in yoga field.
Okay.
And still I still teach yoga, so people talk about it, but I just don't know, and also no.
Because
no
people,
interest.
even the I wants to look for something better, even in the life hereafter.
Yeah.
Because when I reincarnate, then.
Yeah. I just this for here personal happiness is no interest, no longer interested in it, because that's the problem. As long as you're looking for your personal happiness, never gonna get out the suffering of the contraction, because you feel that the person. That's I say the problem, nothing's problem, because everything's happening perfectly, and also that's seemingly suffering's happening, but it's not happening.
Yeah.
Because that's
it's only happening in thoughts, you think?
Yeah, it's even happening in, even doesn't say in the thoughts. Maybe apparently suffering's appearing, but it's really not happening. It's just maybe life is like life will become apparent suffering and then appearing, but no one in there. It's just can I say it's just the suffering?
Yeah, suffering happening.
Suffering happening.
Seemingly.
But seemingly.
Yeah.
Even I don't see it. I say I, but it's not Naho. I don't know why.
When people may come up to you with a terrible story, like I lost someone, or I am sick, or whatever, do you feel still empathy for someone?
Yeah. But then no strong belief in it. The moment I naturally say something, but then there is no belief, and also their life is happening perfectly, and also there's because I don't see anyone, so the person saying it's not suffering anymore. They're not suffering. It's just life is happening, so it's just perfect.
Yeah.
That suffering also perfect. nothing is personal. Even pain happens, that's also just a pain. If you identify with your pain and someone's looking at the pain, then becomes suffering. But just the pain is just everything's not personal and everything's not separate.
Yeah. Because most people think it's my pain.
Yeah.
They also think it's my fault maybe.
Yeah.
And I have to do something to get rid of that.
Yeah. And also that if someone asks me the advice or something,
Yeah.
and if I give advice back, then I'm supporting that story.
Yeah.
And first of all, I don't really believe any story, and secondly, supporting the person. It means the cause of the suffering is person, and supporting that.
Yeah.
That's not really interest here. So, and also everything's happening perfectly, and I don't really see a problem.
So, do feelings of fear or sadness still arise?
Yeah, everything arises, but just sadness, just fear, and that also love. Everything is so, how can I explain this? So intimate and so close, and that's because I remember I tried to be so close to my mom, but it's too distant, two bodies.
Yeah, yeah.
But that this is total, just intimacy with everything.
Total intimacy with everything. That's beautiful.
Everything, yeah. But it sounds like I have intimacy, but it's not. There is only intimacy. It's strange, very strange.
But for a lot of people, these questions often come up in talk. They say, okay, this is life happening, but then they say, but you see it through these eyes, and I see it through these eyes.
Yeah.
How would you respond to that?
That's the... I don't see it because I don't see it. It's just this. What is happening is left. When me falls away, only left is what is happening. Nobody is seeing. Seeing takes place. Seeing takes position. I am here, you are there. That's already two position. Two separation.
Yeah.
That's not it. That's not it. That's not what I'm talking about. What is happening? What is happening is everything, nothing. There is no position.
I totally agree on that, but now I'm gonna play the devil for a while. Because then they say yes, but when a bee is sticking you, then you feel the pain. Huh? So how would you respond to that?
No, actually, there is only pain.
There's only pain.
Yeah.
Okay, but then there is pain.
Then I know naturally I say I got pain and stuff like that. But then that's the pain.
But they would say, okay, but then maybe there's no you inside.
Yeah.
But then it's that body in which there is pain.
Yeah, body has a strong pain.
Yeah.
But that body also imagination.
Yeah. Okay.
So then only pain left.
Yeah.
In nothingness. Everything come out nothingness.
And even pain is the imagination. But it feels so real, doesn't it?
Yeah, but that's the aliveness. Everything's so alive.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And it seems so real. I mean,
yes, it's so real.
It is really as if there are two people sitting on chairs, and it's as if.
This is a total mystery.
Yeah.
Mystery. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's impossible. Another thing, me dynamic. Me wants to know everything. Me wants to know, and then me wants to hold on to something, and then me wants to get something.
Yeah.
But actually, me has no control. Me has no power at all. Everything happening by itself. That's so strange. Me think that when you believe that me, but I don't even see that someone's me. I see that me is like a dynamic happening, It seemingly happening to someone's body, but actually I just see as a dynamic. I don't really see someone's pain or someone's me.
Okay.
I just see as a dynamic.
And you don't use the word consciousness?
Not at all. What is consciousness? I don't know.
No, we don't know. But like say Walter Keers, he was the first teacher who actually brought this a-dvaita to Holland. He spoke a lot about awareness, and he would say that there's awareness happening now, because there is awareness of, let's say, the grass or words or sounds, but that there's no person in this awareness.
Yeah.
So he would say awareness is just happening.
Right. And maybe that's the only different word they use. Maybe we are talking about the same thing, but for here, the awareness means like something aware in something. That means object has to be exist, aware object and awareness. So already two.
Yeah, true.
So it's really different from like someone's seeing it. And also I think a lot of people stuck with like an awakening. If you say that's in total liberation and awakening, if you talk about differentiated, because awakening is like a lot of different kind of experiences. I think people stuck in like aware in something without thoughts, like trying to aware what's happening, or nothing's here, or try to look at.
Yeah.
But still, that's me dynamic. Me try to know something, and me try to aware something. But then already that's two. It's not comfortable.
Yes, but I think it's just concepts we use then. But then Walter Keers would probably say, yes, but there's still the awareness of that. Then there is a you trying to be aware.
Yeah.
You know? It's always it's maybe just everything and nothing is a more clear approach, because then there's really nothing to grasp.
Yeah.
I remember Buddha would say everything is the unborn, of the unmanifested, because if you approach it in a negative way, you can't grasp the unmanifested. It's like that's why a-dvaita is the not two and not the one. And that's so clever. Yeah.
And then this is seemingly happening, but nothing's happening because come from nothing.
Yeah. It all comes from
so
nothing.
Amazing.
Yeah.
It's so mysterious.